I live with some wonderful men, including male dogs. They can play rugby, hockey, rule the world. This salmon looks fantastic. This will be a great meal. Anyway, when it comes to domestic things, they're hopeless. They have no arms or legs. They don't know how to change a toilet paper roll. They don't know how to cook anything. They don't know how to get organized anyway, which is what I'm doing now. I'm trying to stock up the house a little bit because in a few hours, they are on their own. I am so out of here. I'm heading to the fabled Lake District of northern Italy. Look at this. It's absolutely spectacular. Not everybody in the world knows about Lake Como, but it has been cottage country since before the birth of Christ. Oh, the consuls and the generals, I guess, after a hard week running the Roman Empire would toss a few belongings in the back of the chariot and just head up to Lake Como for the weekend. They've been building villas here for 2,000 years. It's just one of the most spectacular places you could see. Lake Como is up near the top of the Italian Butte, between Milan and the Swiss border. It's shaped like an inverted Y, with the town of Como at the very bottom and the village of Bellagio at the fork. It's like someone dropped a piece of pristine Pacific Northwest wilderness into turn-of-the-century continental Europe. The water is ice blue, the mountains towering, the shoreline dotted with fabulous old villas and perfect gardens. The great poet Shelley once remarked that this lake exceeds anything I have beheld in beauty. But let's get back to Earth here and deal with this weather. Over there. There's a fabulous place for cappuccino, which we went to yesterday, but first, you better go buy an umbrella. The actual town of Como is charming and historic, but the raindrops are the size of gnocchi, and they haven't let up since I got here. Okay. Piccolo grande. I like this one. All right, that's elegant. Maybe a bit manly, but so I don't have to wear a scarf over my head. But rain cannot dampen the simple joys of getting reacquainted with this wonderful country. The first glimpse of shop windows that you find only here, and the old familiar phrases echoing in the piazza.
Bravissima, non c'è Juventina, no? Vai bene. Bravissima.
Como itself probably ranks about 953rd on the places to see in Italy list, but it is so nice. It's long been and still is the center of the Italian silk industry. I think I could buy everything in this store. I don't even wear scarves. I guess I will now, or at least all my family will. The Romans took it from the Gauls in the 2nd century BC, and Julius Caesar rebuilt it a few years later. I head to the 13th century cathedral with more than sightseeing in mind, but it is pretty impressive with its great Gothic rose window in the center. I just thought that with the greatest respect, would anyone really mind if I just nicely asked for a little help with the forecast? Make a contribution to the upkeep of this beautiful cathedral in Como. It's always nice to light a candle. There are always people to light it for. And maybe for good weather, too. I guess the good news is that I'll be getting my money's worth out of the umbrella. I begin to wonder if travel show episodes can be rained out. I mean, can we show you a doubleheader next week? I guess it's time for the great indoors. This is actually one of the most fabulous hotels in the world. It's called the Villa d'Este. I mean, this is fancy, schmancy, elegant beyond belief on Lake Como. Elton John would stay here, Michael Schumacher. In fact, I brought my camera because I want a picture of myself here, and I'm going to have lunch. This villa was built for a powerful and, I guess, wealthy cardinal in the 1500s. There's a song that says, "Love me and leave me in luxury's lap." Well, that would be here. Maybe the divine intervention will come here as I stalk the hallways for celebrities to save this show. Andrea Bocelli, maybe, or Bono. This is a Bono kind of place. I feel good about Bono, actually. When I bump into boxing promoter Don King.
Oh, I'm just so happy to see you. We got to quit meeting this way.
I know. So, you just happen to be in Italy arranging a fight.
Yes. I'm arranging Piccirillo and Corey Spinks. This is the son of Leon Spinks, the man who beat Muhammad Ali when no one ever thought it could be done. We got a great manager, Graziano.
In a few short minutes, he quotes Kipling, William Jennings Bryant, and Shakespeare.
It just makes me feel like Mark Antony, friends, Romans, and countrymen. Lend me your ear.
And he never met a camera lens he didn't like.
It's actually
a little short.
Yes, but you're making it rise. You're stimulating it. Only you can do that.
I'm sure.
Oh, God, the magic touch.
I'm sure I'm not the
captivating
only
smile. Yes, eyes just enthralling. Just make you a humble servant. We had
You know that feeling when you want to take something back as soon as it's out of your mouth? Just watch me walk into this one.
But you made it feel so good. Do it again. Oh, it's the real thing. Yes, yes, yes. Ooh, I'm so excited. Ooh.
I've got some stuff in my room that might really help.
Oh, yes, now I even get invited to the room. What more can you ask for? To go to the boudoir. To go to the boudoir with the most beautiful, luscious, vivacious woman in town. Yes, from Canada. Doing this thing, girl, you are simply amazing.
So it wasn't Bono or Bocelli. Hell, it wasn't even Donnie and Marie. But I bet it made you laugh.
A delight, a true delight.
Let's see. We were on our way to luncheon, but with my handy cam, I see these two girls dancing in the garden. I think it's get this party started. It was so good. They've abandoned their family's wedding reception to rock and roll. And they're like princesses. They actually may be princesses, but they're at this age of innocence and oblivious to the privileged life that lets them play in the gardens of a late Renaissance masterpiece. They are too pretty for words and a cure for the gloomy skies. Aww, that's beautiful. Thank you. So you're going to the wedding now? To the party?
Yes.
Yep. Well, you're gorgeous. Grazie.
Prego.
Anyway, lunch was wonderful, but I will skip straight to il dolce, dessert. And you don't even want to know what's in this, and it tastes better than it looks. And get this, I do this for a living. If I weren't me, I'd just have to kill me. Nobody deserves to be this happy. cold. Freddo. Molto freddo. It's been raining for 3 days, so all the Como kind of activities around the lake, hiking, boating, gorgeous things like that are completely out. So we're in Como. I thought about lying on the tracks, but in fact we're catching the 943 to Milan, the Duomo, the galleries, and some spectacular shopping. So there's still a reason to live in spite of the rain. Now let me just say that any day you're on a train to a city that was once the western capital of the Roman Empire is not going to be a wasted day. And the ceremony of train travel in Europe is great. That wonderful sight of the departures board flipping over with all those magical place names that seem just a short hop away. And then you're at Milano Centrale, and it doesn't really get much better than that. Let's just see, have we got everything? Bone-chilling cold, check. Pouring rain, check. Fabulous 14th century cathedral, check. Pretty fabulous. And don't forget the blaring loudspeakers they've set up here at the finish line of some race or other. Go, go, go! All those spires and statues outside give Milan's cathedral an ice cream castle look. Elizabeth Barrett Browning called it a snow dream. But inside, it is just massive. Begun in 1386, it took so long to build that it's a mess of architectural styles. But from the floor looking up, it's an awesome sight. Napoleon crowned himself King of Italy here in 1805. There is the sublime beauty of the legendary stained glass. Oh my God. There is the gruesome statue of St. Bartholomew depicted carrying his own skin after his martyrdom. Well, the Duomo is a huge monument and a cathedral, but it's also a sanctuary devoted and dedicated to the Virgin Mary. And so when the Milanese enter, they come to this lovely chapel of the Virgin Mary, and this is where, you know, they light their candles for the souls they're thinking about and praying for, which I'll do too. And one more small prayer for the weather. I see blue sky. It worked. Yes, it's nice. And even as the loudspeakers outside shatter my eardrums, I am really grateful. Sunshine is the nicest gift I could imagine, because the real treat at the Duomo di Milano is up on the roof. When you round that corner. It is a magical forest up there, countless spires and statues all around. The race announcer screams away down on the piazza, but I don't care. On a clear day, it's said that you can see the Matterhorn, but I'm more than happy. I'm thrilled, in fact, that you can see the sun sparkling on La Madonnina, the statue of the Blessed Virgin herself that has shone down on this great city for centuries. Hello, fatso. Who's feeding you? I can't honestly tell you why it seems like such a good idea to chase the pigeon, because all of a sudden this guy's whole family's in my face.
Open your hand.
Ah!
I take you one picture.
Oh, thanks.
You want?
Ew, ew, ew. Don King, and now this. I guess this is atoning for all my sins. If they make a mess on me, I don't even like pigeons. This is like Alfred Hitchcock. Ew, ew. It certainly makes Milan's cathedral an unforgettable experience. Try it sometime. Hi, boys. I know, you're beautiful. The loudspeakers tell me ecstatically it's the Italian who won the race, escaping the pigeons with my trench coat intact, and the miraculous sunshine is better. But wait! The Galleria Vittorio Emanuele is right next to the church. Built in the 1860s, it's a cathedral of shops and stores full of those wonderful Italian things. Isn't this place spectacular? Somehow the Eaton Center isn't quite as grand. And I stroll through, buying nothing more than a slice of pizza. Now that's a miracle. Our home away from home during our visit is the village of Bellagio, another of Lake Como's little jewels. Ancient church bells, cobblestone streets. This was the inspiration for the famous lavish Las Vegas hotel, and it's pretty inspiring, though a tad cooler than Vegas. The very grand Hotel Cerboloni has hosted everyone from Franz Schubert to Winston Churchill. It's been run by the same Italian family for 5 generations. As I take in all the sights just on my way down to dinner in this beautiful historic place, I think, this is what I get to see on my way to work today. And I still shake my head at my good fortune. Grazie. As you would imagine in a grand hotel, dinner's a pretty grand event. Looking over the lake and the mountains, I mean, I suppose there are more romantic places in the world. I've yet to ever see anything as romantic as this. And full of history, too. I mean, you could almost imagine Winston Churchill sitting, as he once did, at one of the tables in this great villa, smoking away at his cigars and drinking too much champagne. Imagine anyone doing that. So, have a little pumpkin tortelli. I guess they know how to make pasta, too. Pumpkin tortelli. Oh. With truffles on top. Another local institution here is Carlo, the handsome, charming bartender who started working here in 1960. He left for other lavish European resorts, but he returned to his home in Bellagio. So this is the best view of the lake?
From the lake, yeah.
Promise?
Yeah, you can see the best view from the lake. Yeah.
The hotel service is impeccable, but for Carlo, an Italian welcome is not complete without showing us his village properly. And it occurs to me that no one in the world is more attached to the old village than Italian men. But every place in the world that's beautiful changes. It gets overrun, and it gets wrecked, and it gets polluted and ruined.
No, not Bellagio. Bellagio, I think people didn't like Bellagio. We have many people that they come back every summer to Bellagio, while they like it to be quiet, to have a relax, and this very romantic place, Bellagio.
D.H. Lawrence wrote that Italy is so tender, like cooked macaroni, yards of soft tenderness wrapped around everything. And on Carlo's gracious little tour here, I completely understand that statement. We stop on top of a huge hill at a simple shrine. This is the Church of the Madonna del Ghisallo, Italy's patron saint of cyclists. Time for a candle and another wish. This is the weirdest church I've ever seen.
Yeah, very, very unusual. But
So up in the hills above Lake Como, the Madonna here,
Madonna del Ghisello.
well, Pope Pius XII made her the patron saint of Italian cyclists.
Yeah, yeah,
of course.
sure, yeah.
So they all come and now it's just
Well,
filled with artifacts, like a museum. It's not a church.
It's a museum. It's a museum. It's more museum than church. Yeah, sure.
They see the bicycles
yes,
and the jerseys of all their heroes.
Everything, yes, it's something. I think it's a unique in Europe.
I've never seen
I
anything
don't know in
like it.
Canada, but in Europe it's unique.
Okay, I have to do something though. This is important. Carlo, I have to make an offering over here. Okay, so this is for my next bicycle
Yeah,
trip,
to-
that it be
to-
a success.
to Lake Como.
Okay, yeah, no, or so the patron
Are
saint
you
of
ready?
cyclists,
Yeah.
Madonna of Ghisello.
Madonna Ghisello. Okay.
Oh,
Now,
it'll be okay.
Yeah.
This was fabulous. But now one last round the lake on our last day. It's become a little ritual that I will always remember heading down to the dock for the 9 a.m. hydrofoil. I head to the famous gardens at Balbiniello Mansion on the shore opposite Bellagio. It is so pretty here. Imagine this whole place for just one guy, another cardinal who must have won an 18th century lottery. But in the distance, I spot a small launch with a big engine, which I must have for some reason, and for a small stack of euros, I do. I bet the old cardinal and D.H. Lawrence never got to do this. Can I go faster? The nice old boat owner seems nervous. He keeps saying piano, piano, and I think, no, actually, I don't play. But then I realize it's Italian for slow down, you lunatic. It's a great ride, and it makes me think of what is so mesmerizing about this place. I don't really care about it being the country homes of the aristocracy. It's that people who have the great gift of creating work of timeless beauty themselves have fallen in love with Como. So in their footsteps, this becomes not just a journey through physical space, but through thought and time as well. They're going to mistake me for one of the models in Milan. Well, I just got a bunch of fresh euros at the bank machine, and I see a shoe store. Ciao.